Hey, talking to myself. Welcome to the podcast. I know that you gon' feel Dave Sands, the second, talking movies and gaming, even anime. Yeah, I might just go Super Saiyan. 242, the Bahamas, we gon' rep. Don't be anxious about nothing. Philippians 4:6. Sharing about my life, sharing about God's truth. Always keep it real when I'm talking to myself. Let's go.
Mic check 1 2 3, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Talking to Myself. Welcome to the podcast. I know that you're gonna feel Dave Sands, the second, talking movies and gaming, even anime. Yeah, I might just go Super Saiyan. 242, the Bahamas, we gon' rep. Don't be anxious about nothing. Philippians 4:6. Hey, sharing about my life, sharing about God's truth. Always keep it real when I'm talking to myself. Ooh, whose intro is that? Oh wait, it's mine. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Talking to Myself podcast with your host for the very most, Dave Sands, numero dos. We are back with episode 13. Oh my goodness, we are moving on up in the world. We are here back on another episode. First and foremost, once again, thank you for all the support. We are 14 subscribers deep on YouTube. We have 3 5-star reviews on Spotify. We have 1 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we have no views on Club Penguin. So I guess we're doing pretty well, no? But nonetheless, we move. So thank you all so much for the support on these episodes. It truly means a lot, and your kind words continue to motivate me to do this. With that being said, if you are not following or subscribed on any of the platforms that the show is on, please do. It really helps the channel and or the streaming platforms. And yeah, I just keep in touch with the show whenever an episode comes out. But nonetheless, we move. We have another exciting episode for you all today. We're going to be talking about restaurants. We're going to be talking about Psalm 34, a passage that I found yesterday. I think it was shared on someone's Instagram profile or wherever, but there is a verse in there that literally like just hit me in the chest, and I was just like, ow-ee, didn't really need this right now, but I guess we move. And yeah, it's going to be really, really exciting. But before we get into any of that, I would just like to let everyone know that I am now recording on a real microphone, ladies and gentlemen. Full-fledged microphone, the one that you would see artists use, the one that you would see your local church choir using. I have one now. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you thought the audio was good before, ladies and gentlemen, we have upgraded. No longer are we recording through Apple headphones. We are recording through a full-fledged dynamic microphone. And so I hope the audio is much more crispier and you can understand my words a little bit more. So yeah, just in case, you think the audio has stepped up, because it has stepped up. And so yeah, I am so happy that I upgraded and it actually works with the setup that I'm currently running for the show. But like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about restaurants because I was genuinely curious as to a particular question that I asked on my Instagram story. And that question was, what is one restaurant you have to hit? Like, I talking about if you go into Orlando, you know what I'm saying? What is one place you have to go to, or the trip is just like, it's just like ruined? Like, why did I even come? You know what I'm saying? And so I posed that question on my Instagram page, and I got a plethora of responses. So if you responded to the poll, thank you so much. It has made my job 10 times easier. And boy, we about to go through these because some of these are very correct. Others, I'm just like, I guess so. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so what restaurant, again, the question is, what is one restaurant you have to hit when you travel? Okay, so I got all the responses here. Don't worry, confidentiality, of course. I'm not going to reveal your name so you're straight, but I got all the responses here. And so we're going to go through these, and we're going to talk about a lot of these. So I guess we will start with. We're going to start with Chick-fil-A. Ladies and gentlemen, Chick-fil-A is one of the top restaurant food chains in the U.S. Quote me on that. Chick-fil-A, I repeat, Chick-fil-A, write this down. Chick-fil-A is one of the most elite fast food restaurants in the U.S. of A. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, my pleasure. You know what I'm saying? My pleasure is what I get when I ask for extra ketchup. I ask for extra ketchup, they say my pleasure. I ask for a milkshake, my pleasure. I ask for $10,000, my pleasure. They're gonna give it to me via bank transfer. You know what I'm saying? And so Chick-fil-A to me is one of the restaurants that I absolutely have to hit when I'm overseas, when I'm in the US. Let me tell you all my order. Hear me out. This is the best order on Chick-fil-A. There's no other order that matters. Main order, chicken deluxe, Chick-fil-A deluxe. That's this chicken sandwich that comes with lettuce and tomatoes. Then you get the beautiful, crispy waffle fries. I mean, sent from heaven above. I mean, come on, it's beautiful. Literally, Chick-fil-A closes on Sundays because it's based off of Christian values. So of course, it's a heavenly restaurant because it's so delicious. And then finally, you get a beautiful vanilla milkshake with whipped cream with the cherry inside. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a dessert guy, but every single time that I pull up to Chick-fil-A, I gotta get that. I have to. That and or the chicken nuggets. I can need them. I haven't had the chicken. I only had the chicken nuggets once in my lifetime, but it's usually the chicken sandwich. But them chicken nuggets are also delicious. So I love me some Chick-fil-A. Definitely a great answer, a great response. We definitely gonna do Chick-fil-A. Next up, we got Red Lobster. Red Lobster. Now, I guess my family used to frequent Red Lobster a lot back in the day. In the last few years, it's not on my top tier. I'm sorry, it's not on my top tier, but I understand why. The biscuits, what I remember. The biscuits at Red Lobster. I can't remember those were. Those like Red Lobster. I'm looking this up now, ladies and gentlemen. Red Lobster biscuits. Like, what are those? Are they like cheddar biscuits? Yes, the cheddar biscuits slap, bro. I love me some cheddar biscuits, dog. Like, those things, they taste delicious. But I guess I'll eat seafood. Don't get me wrong. It's just that Red Lobster is just not on my top creme de la creme, if that makes sense. But Red Lobster is also a very good restaurant. Another one we have is Panda Express. Ladies and gentlemen, Panda Express. Orange chicken with rice, fried rice. And I think I could get either I could double up on my orange chicken, or I could get orange chicken, my shrimp fried rice or white rice, I believe, and then I could get some mixed veg on the side. I don't go there every single time that I'm away. If it's in an airport and I don't want fries and I don't want pizza, then I'm gonna get a Panda Express. During my CPA study, there was like a Panda Express near to like the hotel I would stay at. That was close to like the testing center. So I would walk over there and get some Panda Express as well. So I understand Panda Express, not on my top tier list. Great answer, but it's a sometimes thing for me, but it's also very delicious when I have it. So we like Panda Express. Now, controversial time. We got Chipotle. I got a lot of Chipotle responses. A plethora of people said Chipotle. Listen to me. I understand why. Hear me out now. Don't shoot the messenger. I understand why Chipotle is on there. But. I just think it isn't for me. I have to say that. I just think that I don't do Chipotle right. And maybe it's because I only went to one Chipotle. Also by the hotel where I used to stay at when I was studying when I was sitting my CPA exams, there was a Chipotle right there. I would go there. I think I get like a chicken bowl, something like that. And I put some lettuce in there and some salsa and a little bit of lettuce. But I don't know, man. It just never slapped for me. The problem that I have with Chipotle is like I've never found a meal that was for me. You know what I mean? When I go to certain restaurants, I don't even need your menu. put the menu back. Don't disrespect me like that. I already know what I want. But with Chipotle, I just go in there like, let me get I'll just take a water. You know, I just don't know what exactly I should be getting. And I got like a order from someone. I got their order, and so maybe I'll try that when I go back to Chipotle. But I get the hype. I just think that I've had bad Chipotle repeatedly, and so that's why for me it is not on my top tier list. But I understand Chipotle as a really good one. I got another one, Juicy Crab. I've never been to a Juicy Crab in my life. I had to Google it. So I've been to a restaurant like a Juicy Crab though. Essentially, you know, like it got like Cajun boils, and it got like you know, like like they would fill like a bag with like shrimp and, you know, corn and all that stuff and have the seasoning in there. I've been to a restaurant like that before. The problem that I have with restaurants like this is, number one, my hand's gonna get messy. Number two, I don't get enough food in the bag. Number three, I can't eat the food fast enough. So not only do I have to work for my food, I don't get enough food, and I can't eat the food fast enough, but I don't get full. Why am I going to the restaurant if I don't get full? I came there to get what? Full. But hey, if that's your thing, if you enjoy it, then by all means. I've had this type of restaurant before. I bought into the hype. I was excited for this type of restaurant. When I got to it, I was just like, it's just not for me, mate. It's just not for me. But I also understand, like, if you really like seafood and you like this type of restaurant style, then absolutely, Juicy Crab is for you. Okay, so Juicy Crab is another one we got. We also got Mickey D's. I'm loving it now. With McDonald's, I've had enough McDonald's back in the day. Like I love their breakfast though. McDonald's breakfast is A1. Them pancakes. If you ever had the McDonald's pancakes and you put that lovely little carton of, you hear that sound? That little carton of syrup. I have a good mic now, so I can make sounds like, you see? So you get that little carton, you drizzle the syrup over that bad boy. It's really delicious. I love McDonald's breakfast. Now, when we get to McDonald's lunch, I would have a chicken sandwich with fries, etc. Now, the problem is after my body takes in the food and it's just like, wait a minute. Hold up. Something ain't right. You know? And my body's just like, ugh. I'm just like, I probably shouldn't have eaten that. But I think even so, McDonald's fries, I still think, that's a hard one. I was going to say that McDonald's fries is still top tier. It still is. But the question is, can McDonald's fries beat Chick-fil-A fries? As McDonald's fries was the OG best fries in the game, in my humble opinion. But then when you have Chick-fil-A with the golden brown blessing, not too salty, but not salt less. You know what I'm saying? Not salt less. Is that a word? Salt less. But no, I back in the day, I would say that McDonald's has the best fries. I think they still do, but I think Chick-fil-A, for me personally, from a health perspective, I would put Chick-fil-A a little bit higher. But McDonald's fries is still A1. I understand McDonald's in its entirety. And so, yeah, McDonald's, obviously a classic staple. It's literally around every corner in the U.S. And so, yeah, it's really good. So, yeah, that's McDonald's. Now, continuing on, we got a overseas one that I truly love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nando's. Ooh. Okay, let's talk about Nando's, right? If you never had Nando's, let me put y'all on a little bit of game, right? I have it Googled in front of me. Nando's is a South African multinational fast casual chain that specializes in Portuguese flame-grilled peri-peri style chicken. We're going to stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched a plethora of British YouTube, right? And so Nando's is really, I would like to assume so. Well, I guess they say South Africa here. But I've heard of Nando's from the UK. And so when I went to London one time, I had to go to Nando's. I had to go there. I heard the hype about it, and I was just like, bro, I have to understand, like, why is Nando's so popular in the UK? Ladies and gentlemen, when I took a bite of that peri-peri chicken, no platypus, I tell you, the love in that chicken, the love in the chips, because these ain't fries, this is the UK. These are chips. These are chips that they have over there. The love in the peri-peri chicken and the chips. Absolutely beautiful. Now, the other thing I like from Nando's, bro, is the halloumi. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. The halloumi sticks and like whatever, like sauce, jam, whatever that is. Halloumi is a type of like cheese, and so imagine they're just like these cheese sticks, right? Kind of a little rubbery when they get in the mouth, but they taste so good. And you dip it in this beautiful sauce. Like this chili jam sauce. Oh my goodness. Like my main Nando's order would be like the peri-peri chicken and fries, and a pair of halloumi sticks and dip. If I'm feeling dangerous, I'm gonna double up on them halloumi sticks and dip, because my goodness, they ain't know how to make them that good, but they that good. Every time I find myself in Europe, I am going to Nando's. No questions asked. Absolutely. I love Nando's. Great response. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into a restaurant. This is the final one. I saved this for last for a reason, because I have to depict to y'all how good this restaurant is to me. Ladies and gentlemen, we talking about Olive Garden. Olive Garden. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you my history with Olive Garden real quick. Let me tell y'all about Olive Garden. When I was younger and I was naive to taste buds, apparently, I didn't like going to Olive Garden. I did not like going. Because why? They didn't have chicken strips and fries. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, bro, it was chicken tenders and fries all the time. All the time. So it's just like when I go to a restaurant that doesn't have that, I'm just like, what are we doing here? I can't consume anything here. What am I going to eat? Water? No. I need nourishment. And so growing up, I didn't really like Olive Garden. Then I got older. And there was one time when I went to Olive Garden with my family. And I was just like, I'm gonna try something, right? I mean, I'm kind of out of that chicken tender phase. I've had pasta and stuff before, so it's just like, okay, let me see. So my parents recommended getting this thing called the Tour of Italy. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I might have been in Florida, but I was touring all over Europe. Italy. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. The Tour of Italy. Let me tell you all about this Tour of Italy, right? The Tour of Italy at Olive Garden comes with three things. I'm going to depict this for you. Golly, that's how excited I am. Excuse me. On the left-hand side of the plate, you have a piece of lasagna. In the middle center of the plate, you have the fettuccine. And on the right side of the dish, the right side of the plate, ladies and gentlemen, you have the chicken parmesan, golden brown, with the marinara sauce from South Africa. I don't know where the sauce is from, but it's really good. And imagine they just come to you with a smile on their face, like, here's your tour of Italy. I'm never upset at Olive Garden, ladies and gentlemen. Never. Not once. Not one day in my life. So when they bring that plate to you, that beautiful plate. Now, mind you, before they even get to the plate, before I even get to the tour of Italy, let's talk about what coming before, right? Every single time, they're going to bring these beautiful golden breadsticks, and they're going to bring you this delightful salad. Back in the day, what is a salad? Couldn't even spell it. I'm just kidding. Of course I could. But I wouldn't eat no salad. But Olive Garden was the one place where I would always have to eat a salad. They bring you this fresh salad with lettuce, tomatoes, a little bit of a little bit of I can't remember the dressing. Is it Caesar? I think it's a Caesar dressing. I believe or is it an Italian dressing? One of the two. Beautiful salad. I gotta eat that first. They bring out those golden breadsticks. Now, here's a little bit of secret. When they bring out the golden breadsticks, what do you ask for? You ask for marinara sauce on the side. They're going to charge you $3.50 because they're going to bring you a tub of marinara sauce because, golly, that was a lot of marinara sauce. Why did they bring so much? But yeah, they bring that marinara sauce on the side. You take the golden brown breadstick, you dip that bad boy into the marinara sauce. Boop. You hear that sound? Boop. That's me dipping the breadstick in the marinara sauce. Once you do that and you consume that, all your pain go away. Whatever you're dealing with outside, it doesn't matter. I am in Italy right now, dog. Then we getting back to the tour of Italy. When they bring that beautiful dish out, they put it on your table. They put it there. You know what they do? They pull out the mechanism. What mechanism is this? The cheese mechanism. You know when you use the word mechanism, it's something serious. You get the cheese mechanism. And you know what they say? Tell you when to stop. And so they grind that gear. And the cheese, the golden cheese, falls from the mechanism onto the plate. Right there. And they just let it go. One day, I'ma just let them cook. I'ma just let them just put all the cheese on there. Let's just empty out the mechanism one time. What are you gonna do? Charge me? Probably. Never mind. I'm actually not going to do that. But no, they get that mechanism out. Put that beautiful golden cheese over it. I tell them to stop. Wait a minute. I'm good for the cheese. Then you cut into those bad pieces. I always start with the lasagna. Go to the lasagna. Go to the Parmesan. Get in that fettuccine for that extra added flavor. My goodness. Absolutely delicious. Then the waiter want to come back like you need dessert. No! I don't need dessert. I went on a tour of Italy. I am full. Bring the bill, please. And so I am a big Olive Garden fan. If they ever want to sponsor the podcast, hello, Olive Garden. My name is Dave. How are you doing? I'm from the Bahamas. But I love Olive Garden. As you can clearly tell, I've thought about this a lot. But I truly love Olive Garden. One of my favorite places. Whew. And that is all the places that you guys submitted to me. I have other ones that I would say, but I think that's enough restaurant talk. I love food. I love a good meal. So thank you all for submitting your restaurants to me. It was really fun going down that pathway. So yeah, we love Olive Garden. Whew. Gotta catch my breath. Golly. Okay, so let us get to what we need to talk about today. And so we're going to be talking about Psalm 34. Like I mentioned earlier, I saw Psalm 34, I think on someone's Instagram story. I can't remember who. But it was a particular verse that got me. I think it was Psalm 34, verse 18. We're going to come to that when I read through it. But truthfully, this was a hard passage for me to read. Because I feel like I could relate to it right now in many ways. So just bear with me as I kind of go through the passage, and as we kind of meditate on it. So we're going to be reading from the NLT version. Of course, the book of Psalm was written by King David. And so on ChatGPT, when I asked for a summary of this, we'll get into the summary afterwards. So yeah, written by King David. Let's talk Psalm 34. It has 22 verses, reading from the New Living Translation. So let's vibe and let's see what David has to say in this passage. So here we go. Verse 1. I will praise the Lord at all times. I will constantly speak his praises. I will boast only in the Lord. Let all who are helpless take heart. Come, let us tell of the Lord's greatness. Let us exalt his name together. I prayed to the Lord, and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. In my desperation, I prayed, and the Lord listened. He saved me from all my troubles. For the angel of the Lord is a guard. He surrounds and defends all who fear him. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, the joys of those who take refuge in him. Fear the Lord, you his godly people, for those who fear him will have all they need. Even strong young lions sometimes go hungry, but those who trust in the Lord will lack no good thing. Come, my children, listen to me, and I will teach you to fear the Lord. Does anyone want to live a life that is long and prosperous? Well, I do. Then keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. The eyes of the Lord watch over those who do right. His ears are open to their cries for help. But the Lord turns his face against those who do evil. He will erase their memory from the earth. The Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. The righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to the rescue each time. For the Lord protects the bones of the righteous. Not one of them is broken. Calamity will surely destroy the wicked, and those who hate the righteous will be punished. But the Lord will redeem those who serve him. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. Selah. That is Psalm 34, verses 1 to 22. And boy, David talks about a lot of things. And so I asked ChatGPT to kind of summarize this for me. Like I kind of mentioned in one of my early episodes, ChatGPT can really help summarize these passages and really help kind of depict what, each section of a particular chapter is saying. So first it says that verses 1 to 3, David is praising and giving thanksgiving to God for his blessings. And we could really see that here. David says, I will praise the Lord at all times, not sometimes, but at all times. I will constantly speak his praises. I will boast only in the Lord. Let all who are helpless take heart. Come, let us tell of the Lord's greatness. Let us exalt his name together. So yeah, at the beginning of this chapter, David is giving praise and thanksgiving to the Lord. He will praise him all the time. We should all tell of God's greatness and exalt his name together. So we understand that part there. Next, verses 4 to 7, it says that this is David's testimony of seeking God in times of trouble and God delivering him from fear. Now David's testifying. So it says, I prayed to the Lord and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. In my desperation, I prayed and the Lord listened. He saved me from my troubles. For the angel of the Lord is a guard. He surrounds and defends all who fear him. Now, I'm not exactly sure what all fears David is essentially being freed from. But he says that he prayed to the Lord and he received an answer from him. That he was freed from every single fear that he was going through. That in his desperation, he prayed and listened to the Lord. He was saved from all of his troubles. For the angel of the Lord is a guard. He surrounds and defends all who fear him. And I think that's such an interesting thing, right? I can't remember. Maybe it's like one of those like posts from Instagram that says like to remember to pray to the Lord not just in the I guess in this case it's the bad times, but praying to God in both the good and the bad. And so in this case, David prayed in desperation, and them desperation prayers. That's a different type of prayer, man. Because when you desperate. When we think of the word desperate, we think of I'm at my last stretch, bro. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need help. I need protection. I need help. I need these troubles to go away. I need these fears to go away. And so for David to say he needs to desperately pray to the Lord, you could tell he was definitely going through something. And so, frankly, I could just relate to those type of prayers where I'm just like, Lord, I really don't have it together. I don't. I feel lost. I'm sad. I'm lonely. I'm not feeling 100%. And so that desperation prayer, I could definitely relate to that. And so we see here David really talking about his testimony and says how he prays to God in times of trouble. Then we go into verses 8 to 10 that talk about encouragement. It says, taste and see the Lord is good. Oh, the joys of those who take refuge in him. Fear the Lord, you as godly people, for those who fear him will have all they need. Even strong young lions sometimes go hungry, but those who trust in the Lord will lack no good thing. Boy, and I think if we focus on verse 10 for a second, even the strong lions sometimes go hungry. We could be as strong as we want to, people. I mean, we could have it all together. We could have we could be so strong for ourselves sometimes, but everybody needs someone to lean on, right? Hence the song. Everyone needs someone to go to. Everybody, in this case, gets hungry spiritually. And so it's important that even though we are strong, even though, life might be going good, we could trust in the Lord and we won't lack anything. And so I think that's so important. Fear the Lord, you as godly people. For those who fear him will have all they need. That fear of the Lord is very important as well. Now we get into verses 11 and 14. What ChatGPT says, it talks about, David talks about how to live a righteous and godly life. So how do we do that? Come, my children, listen to me, and I will teach you to fear the Lord. And this is where I kind of made that little comment that, yes, I want to live a long and prosperous life. He says, does anyone want to live a long and prosperous life? Absolutely. How do we do it? Well, he says it here. Then keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Hence the song from Sunday school. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say, I believe. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say. Yeah, exactly. So keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. So that's verses 11 to 14. Now we're getting into the section of this passage that kind of hit me a little bit differently, which is verses 15 to 18. The verse that I was referring to that really hit me differently was verse 18 in this chapter, and we'll get to that. And so 15 to 18 says, the eyes of the Lord watch over those who do right. His ears are open to their cries for help. But the Lord turns his face against those who do evil. He will erase their memory from the earth. The Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. Verse 18 now. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. And so when I saw this verse, I wanted ChatGPT to help me kind of expand on this a little bit more because, I could relate to kind of like feeling a crushed spirit and feeling low and feeling kind of weary. And so the breakdown of this verse was as follows. So it says in ChatGPT, this verse conveys the idea that God is near to those who are experiencing deep emotional pain, sorrow, or a sense of hopelessness. It suggests that in times of distress, when our hearts are broken or when we feel emotionally crushed, God is present and ready to offer comfort, solace, and salvation. It's a message of hope and reassurance, emphasizing that even in our lowest moments, we can turn to God for support and deliverance from our emotional burdens. And truthfully, I was really nervous to talk about this verse. Because I tried to come on the show, obviously bring a lot of energy, as you can see, and try to give as much positivity as I can. But the truth is, I'm still human. I am still human like every single person that's listening to this episode right now. And so, I did feel like my spirit was low. I was definitely feeling some level of, hopelessness, sorrow, and some pain, right? You just have those days where you just feel lack of energy. Or sometimes when you take that emotional intake and you find emotion that you didn't realize was there. And so trying to work through that emotion is tough. I can't sit here and say that all that emotion is gone just because I turn on a microphone. But I think this verse really spoke to me because it really says how close the Lord is to us. Like, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. And I think as people, as I guess even as humans, firstly, before even look at it from a Christian's perspective, we're gonna have off days. We're going to feel low. We're going to be sad. We're going to be emotional. Life really happens. Things could trigger us. Things could upset us, you know? And when you have a very low spirit, it's really hard. It's really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's really hard to, kind of escape that darkness, if you will. But I think that this verse brings me a little bit of peace as I try to navigate my day-to-day life and try to navigate feelings and emotions. Like, God is close to the brokenhearted, man. He's close to us in these low times. He's here to rescue us from our crushed spirits. And I'm really happy that David says that, like, we're going to get crushed. If it's not today, it's going to be at some point. I don't wish that on anybody, of course, but that's the true thing about life. Life has its ups and downs. I've been realizing that, just from experiences, obviously life isn't linear. It's like this up and down slope of, like, you have like the highest of highs, you have the lowest of lows. Sometimes you're in the middle. And so, you go through these streams of life trying to figure out, how are you going to navigate it? And some days your spirits are low. But the Lord is close to us. And it's really hard to remember that. Frankly, this is me just trying to tell myself that, he is near to me. He's near to me. He wants to rescue me. I just have to give him the option to rescue me, I can sometimes be hard-headed. And so I sometimes just want to stay in that emotion of anger and pain or whatnot because it's just easier to stay there. But this verse kind of opened me up a little bit. Even though I'm not fully there yet, I know that the Lord is near. And so I think we should definitely remember Psalm 34, verse 17 and 18. Once again, 17, the Lord hears his people when they call to him for help. He rescues them from all their troubles. And verse 18, which I think I need to just commit to memory because it's just one of those verses that I think I could just use on a daily. Like, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. Man. I know I got some other verses to go to, and I'm going to get to those, but listen to me. If you're out there too and you're feeling low and you feel like your spirit is crushed, just know that the Lord is there to rescue you. And he hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't forgotten about me either. And so we could kind of confide in him on those days where we feel so broken and we feel so low. So I'm very grateful that David kind of put that verse in this chapter. And it's just a strong reminder how we have access to the eternal God of the world, and that's truly a blessing. Whew. Everyone okay? Okay, great. And so now we could finalize this chapter with verses 19 to 22, which talks about the contrast between the fake of the wicked and the righteous. And so it says, the righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to rescue each time. For the Lord protects the bones of the righteous, not one of them is broken. Calamity will surely destroy the wicked, and those who hate the righteous will be punished. But the Lord will redeem those who serve him. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. Selah, we move. I just like how honest these last few verses are. Like, the honesty that the righteous person will face many troubles. They will. Like, it's a guarantee, like a 100% warranty. Hey, you are going to face trouble. But once again, it talks about how the Lord will rescue us, For the Lord protects the bones of the righteous. None of them will be broken. I would like to think that this is both physically and mentally, spiritually. But he's going to protect us. He's going to protect all the bones. He's going to protect all of it. Every living part of us is going to be protected. So That's a very important thing to remember. Calamity will surely destroy the wicked. Those who hate the righteous will be punished. But the Lord will redeem those who serve him. He's going to save us, man. He has saved us already. No one who takes refuge in him will be condemned. And I just think that verses like 17 to 22, again, speak to me. The fact of being rescued, I think, kind of resonates with me. When you think of being rescued, you think of being saved. Of course, we have the biblical reference of being saved, but I'm talking about saved in terms of like, I just need help, man. Like, I'm in like Noah and the ark, I'm going to experience a flood, or I'm currently in that flood. And so I just think that these last two verses really, truly spoke to me. And I hope it speaks to you all too, because, I mean, everyone is going through something, whether we speak about it or not. Every single person is going through their version of pain, of brokenheartedness, of a low spirit. But the Lord is there to rescue us. And so I think we could rest knowing that we will be rescued. We could rest knowing that the Lord is close to our broken hearts and that he truly wants to rescue our spirits from being crushed. And we just have to let him do that rescuing. And so, Selah, I think that's where I would like to end off. Know that the Lord is here to rescue us. If you have a broken heart, if your spirit is low, if you're having an off day, if you are feeling like you just can't anymore, just know that the Lord is close by, ready to rescue those broken spirits of ours. It's gonna be hard to kind of just let him in. It's really difficult because you just want to stay angry. And so this is kind of revealing a lot to me right now. But let him in. Let him in. Let him rescue you. And the Lord will provide for us. So that's Psalm 34, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say thank you all for listening to another episode of the Talking to Myself podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something. If you like the show, let me know. Subscribe. Follow on all the platforms. Thank you all so much for listening. We move, Selah, and until we meet again, take it easy. We move! Boy, this mic good, eh? Okay, I gone. Bye!